Hey guys, this is Christine with Mama's Munchkin blog, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about what an advocacy toolkit is and why people with disabilities need to create one ASAP. Before I get into this video, I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to ask you to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Leave any comments in the comment boxes, and we're going to go ahead and get started with today's video. Advocacy is so important to people with disabilities, and so that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the term that I created called Advocacy Toolkit. I'm going to get into what that is and how you can maximize your advocacy efforts in using an advocacy toolkit, why you probably need one like yesterday, but I'm going to give you strategies to help you make one. And so that's what this video is going to cover for today. Advocacy is so important for people with disabilities, and it really circles around us speaking up for our needs and what we need. And the definition of advocacy is promoting interests of individuals or of groups of people, right? But we and even people without disabilities engage in advocacy almost every day. We just don't really realize we're doing it. And when we think about an actual advocacy issue that we may be having, it can cause us to be a little bit overwhelmed. And so hopefully with these ideas that I have for you in this video, it's going to help you not only reduce some of that overwhelming feeling you may have about advocacy, but it'll give you ideas and tips of how to make your toolkit work for you. And I can't stress enough with each of these videos and each of my blog posts that these toolkits and these ideas are for you to get inspiration from. You can try to use them, or you can create something that's the inspiration of them. The other thing I forgot to mention about this video is that this blog post was on the blog a while ago, but I'll go ahead and link the blog post to the bottom of this video so you guys can check it out. It's got more details, more information. You can always leave me questions and comments on the bottom of the place where you guys can put comments and let me know if you need more information about toolkits. And so again, advocacy toolkit was something I came up with because I think that advocacy toolkits really help us be more organized. And basically what that is a system that you're going to create on your own. And maybe you're not the person with the disability. Maybe you support someone with a disability. Maybe you're an ally of a person with a disability. Maybe you're a parent of a person with a disability. And all those people that are important to our lives as person with disabilities can utilize the information in this video to create advocacy toolkits. And one of the reasons why I came up with the idea of an advocacy toolkit is that when we advocate for our needs, we have so many components that go with that advocacy project, that advocacy issue. So why not put it in one spot? Maybe it's a spot in your home that you designate where you're only going to be working on your advocacy issues, but it's going to comprise of a couple things, and I'm going to talk to you about that. And hopefully it'll help advocacy be a little bit easier for you. So organization is so important, and with the advocacy toolkit, maybe you have a command central, or maybe you don't have a command central yet. Hopefully after this video, you'll have a command central where you sit and you look over your notes about advocacy issues, maybe something you're working on, maybe something you're planning to work on. And the other thing I didn't mention is this also works well for grassroots groups, right? So, excuse me. So this is a good idea for anyone who is working on advocacy. And one of the important things when we advocate for our needs, if it's us or someone is helping us, is to be organized, right? And so designating an area to make phone calls, an area for letter writing, designating certain things like notebooks or folders to organize your logs, your phone logs, your information logs, because it's so important to have good organizational skills. And if you don't have them, that's okay. There are so many advocacy workshops and groups, and I'll upload some information here to the YouTube channel to help you guys too. But making sure you have a system, again, that works for you, making sure you keep all of those items, whether it's documents or letters or receipts, whatever the case may be, something in a specific safe space where you know what it is. You can use binders and folders and color code things. If you're a pen and paper type of person, you could use color coded pens and pencils. You could use sticky notes. You could use highlighters. There are a bunch of things that you could use. If you're more of a digital type of person, Google is a great thing to use in the excuse me, in the calendar function, and there are so many apps available to help us save those documents, right? But remember, and I will talk about this in a few minutes, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. I'm going to say that a couple times during this video, and here's my documentation slide, right? So we're going to create a system for documentation. That's a system that works for us. Remember, these are ideas for you guys to use to make your advocacy skills better. Okay, so a system for documentation, whether that's folders, whether that's binders, whether that's regular school folders versus file folders, right? A place to keep your emails. Maybe you like to use Evernote as an option. Evernote has a free option available for people. You can scan in documents there and save them there, so it's always an option for people to use if you like to be more technologically inclined. But again, I said this earlier in the other slide, if it's not documented, it didn't happen. So make sure that you guys document. And I would also document if you're leaving messages places, if you're calling and speaking to people, write down the day and the time and the person that you spoke to. It's nothing wrong with saying to someone, may I have your name, right? If they're helping you, and there's going to be no problem giving that information so you can have it for your records. So resources are so important when we're advocating, again, whether it's for ourselves or someone else. Finding out what help is available within your community, right? What help maybe was available before but is currently available now because things change, organizations change what they are able to do for people depending on funding. So all of that information is good information to always have. And then knowing what are the requirements to receive assistance from those organizations, another good piece of information to have. And you can always call and ask general questions, right? So that you know that that's a resource that you could use within the community. So, and then key details about your advocacy issue, right? And maybe I'm working on one or two different issues, so I want to deal with them one at a time. I want to have a color-coded folder or binder for them, and then I want to learn how each system works, and then I want to learn who is involved in operating those systems, who is in charge in those systems, who is out there to help us as people with disabilities to advocate within those systems, because there are people out there. So learning all of that information is so important to sharpening our advocacy skills. So, and then building your team, building a support system. They're going to be there for you for encouragement. They're going to put you on the right track. And sometimes building your team are stakeholders as well. So we could think of friends and family members, but maybe we make connections within our community to help us as well. Maybe our friends and family, or maybe somebody that we know within the community, can be a proofreader. They could be a practice partner. Maybe you need practice working on when you go maybe to an advocacy appointment, so that they could do a mock appointment with you and conduct that so you can see where you can improve your skills. And then people that can help eliminate some of the obstacles you may face. Maybe they can offer you a ride if you have a transportation issue. Just kind of searching and seeing who would be good assets to be a part of your team and somebody who you can look to for guidance and motivation is always important. So becoming familiar with potential outcomes, right? Or devising your own. So finding out what solutions have worked in the past, right? What has not worked? What ideas do you have that maybe somebody hasn't come up with? Or maybe you put two ideas together, or you do enough research that you come up with something that's completely new. And just becoming familiar with those things prior to your advocacy appointment, or prior to that phone call, or prior to writing that letter. Those are also important advocacy skills for us to sharpen when we can. And then practicing the craft, right? Practicing the craft of advocacy skills. So learning different techniques, going, as I was mentioning earlier, to different workshops that are available. There are books out there that are available for advocacy and learning more about advocacy, and then refining your skills, maybe practicing presentation or elevator skills, or practicing letter writing skills, or practicing phone skills. But you can always refine your skills and become better advocates for yourselves and for the people that you love. And so lastly, to mention to you guys, advocacy skills, don't forget, they help us speak up for ourselves. They also help us speak up if we're supporting maybe a friend or a loved one with a disability. Those also help you help that individual as well. The toolkits are a term I came up with, Advocacy Toolkit. It'll help you create a system and a space to put your advocacy documents in, and organize yourself so that you're a better advocate in your organization and being able to really focus on the issue instead of focusing on maybe something you may have lost in the process of moving things around during the day or during the course of what you do otherwise, maybe a job or something like that. And then remember that there are many methods to help you increase and improve your advocacy skills. I know that this slide says increase your advocacy skills, but we can always improve our advocacy skills as well. And so I wanted to thank you guys for listening to this video, for checking out this video, and for making it this long with me. Please subscribe to the channel so that you get notified of when the next video will be out. Please also follow me on social media. Here are the social media spaces that we're on. And thank you so much. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, any questions, or if you want to suggest a video that you'd like to see me create, please go ahead and put that in the comments. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much.